What is the most affordable city in Canada that has over 100,000 people and is closest to Vancouver? That's right, it's Lethbridge, Alberta. We are already 1 month into 2024, so let's take a look at how the real estate market fared for the month of January. Starting first with the average sold price. We ended the month with an average closing price of $365,000. That's an increase of 0.09% from the previous month and a whopping 22% increase year over year. This has got to be one of the biggest year over year increases we've seen in Lethbridge in some time. But it's a bit deceiving, and here's why. January 2023, the average size of homes sold was 140 square feet smaller than this January. So of course, on average, smaller homes are going to be worth less than larger homes. If you look at the average price per square foot, it was an increase of just 10% year over year, which is still significant, but not even close to the 22% that it might look like at first glance. The most affordable home sold for $84,600 and the most expensive for $735,000. January generally has low sales volume because there are both fewer sellers in the market and there are fewer buyers in the market. This can cause some of the statistics to look a little wonky because the sample size is smaller compared to other months. This January, we saw 115 sales. This is an increase of 44% from December. The average sales for the last 5 years in January was 94, so we are slightly above average for this time of year. So there's more homes selling for more money, but how fast are they selling? The average days on the market before a property sold final was 78, with one home selling in 1 day and one home selling in 1,235 days. They listed the apartment back in September 2020. In that time, I've got married, had a kid, and I have another baby on the way, but I'm sure they're happy to finally sell that one. I'm pretty sure it was rented out the entire time, so obviously they weren't in a super rush to sell. If you remove that one property from the statistics, it drops our average days on the market by 10 days to only 68 days on the market. This is pretty low for Lethbridge, so properties are moving faster than average. There were 306 active listings on the market. This is another record low for Lethbridge. We haven't seen a lower amount since the middle of 2007. If you take that number and divide it by the number of sales, that gives you the months of inventory. And months of inventory is how many months it would take to run out of properties if no new properties were put on the market. Last month, it was at 2.6 months of inventory. This is basically on par with what we've been seeing for the last 3 years. In other real estate news, the Bank of Canada has held their overnight interest rate at 5% for the 5th time in a row. They hinted at possibly lowering the rate by the end of 2024, but that all depends on inflation. Even if they do lower it, I doubt it will be that substantial. If you're not aware, the Bank of Canada's overnight interest rate directly affects variable rate mortgages, but fixed rate mortgages are not affected. Fixed rate mortgages are affected by whatever the 5-year bond yields are like. I work with a couple great mortgage brokers. If you're wondering how much you can afford in today's market, send me a message and I'm happy to connect you. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss future updates because this year is shaping up to be an interesting one.